Most of us have probably had our fair share of experiences wandering around a desert and coming across these desert wells, which are kind of cool to find, but they're not really helpful. And they're not good for much except for taking a bath in, I guess, because they're not very deep either. Desert wells have been in the game for a long time now, and they only consist of 3 blocks: sandstone, sandstone slabs, and water. And in this video we're going to be updating the desert well, like I did in my previous video in this series where I updated a dungeon to make it just a little bit better. An interesting thing about desert wells is that they actually generate even if you have structure generation turned off, because the game doesn't see it as a structure, it sees it as a decorational feature, which also means that you can't locate a desert well. You can see a desert pyramid, there's no well, you can't locate it. You have to find it naturally, which is what I did here. Currently, desert wells aren't really useful. There's no reason to go out and find them unless you just want to say I found a mildly rare structure that does absolutely nothing. So we're going to try to change that in today's video. We're not going to give it like overpowered loot, full netherite armor, anything dumb like that, but we are going to try to make some purpose to go and find them. It's called a well, but it's only 1 block deep, so it's probably more like a bath. And if you think about it, there's actually wells that are real wells in villages that are actually deep. So the first thing we're going to do to update this well is increase the depth of it so it's more realistic. Now that we have that, we're going to change a little bit of the structure of it. I'm not going to change the actual shape of the blocks, but I'm going to replace some of them. Like that's going to be chiseled sandstone. Maybe we'll put smooth sandstone here. Might change it later, we'll see. So I've updated the structure now, and it's a proper depth, but we're still missing one crucial aspect of a well, if you think about it. So we're going to add a cauldron hanging off of a chain, so that it looks like a bucket that could be dipped into the well and used to draw water. And actually, I think we might actually put water into the cauldron just like that, so it looks like water is being drawn from the well. If you think about it, we already have lakes that generate in deserts. There's desert lakes / ponds that you can find, and there's not really any vegetation around them except for sugarcane and the normal cactus. But desert wells, it's already a well, there's already water, and if there's water, then there should be the ability for stuff to grow near it. So I'm going to be adding a little bit of vegetation around the sides to make it a mini oasis. Probably not going to have any trees, but might have a bit of grass, coarse dirt. So I've added the start of some vegetation around here, some grass, some coarse dirt, and a little stream. And we've seen Mojang do stuff with water before like this in certain villages, so I think that fits pretty nicely. But now we're just going to add a little bit of grass and other things around the outside. So for a few finishing touches around the outside, I'm going to add a couple barrels, so we might place a little bit of loot and stuff in later on. So it kind of looks like there was stuff at the well before, there used to be people there, but it got abandoned. And we might actually add some debris to the bottom of the well, so it looks like it's not being upkept, with some slabs and stairs, just to kind of give it that abandoned feel, because that's often what Mojang goes for. And now it kind of looks like there's debris at the bottom. It's not all like just upkept and everything, because it's kind of abandoned. But here's the special thing about the well. So hear me out, this might seem a little bit silly at first, but we're going to add a lodestone underneath the well at the very bottom of it. And we're going to add a compass that's locked onto that lodestone that could spawn in a nearby desert village. So if you found it, you could find your way to the well. And it's not like the lodestone, you could take the ingot of netherite out of it, so it's not overpowered. And if you think about it, these wells are already very rare. They generate in about 1 out of every 1,000 desert chunks, so it's already very uncommon to find them. And having a lodestone would just add that little extra bit of exploration. And if you wanted, you could even just, maybe they could add a new type of explorer map. You know how they have like Ocean Monument explorer maps and the Woodland Mansion explorer maps, so maybe they could do something like that for a well if they wanted, instead of a lodestone. And you may be asking yourself, well, that's cool, you get a lodestone from it, but why would you want to go there aside from that? Well, you see, these barrels, we could put some basic supplies, like kind of things you might find in villages. It can like maybe emeralds. You could put some emeralds in these, not too many, just like a couple. But kind of give it its own unique loot tables. You don't really want to have something in every barrel. You don't need to, depending on how many barrels like it would generate with. But it would give you kind of a reason to find these, and it'd be a nice little oasis you could find in the desert. Be kind of rare, and it still keeps the main theme of the desert well. Like, I didn't change the structure very much, although I'm actually not a huge fan of that smooth stone. I think it will look much better like that. Actually, we're gonna revert that. I've been looking at that as I've been recording, and I think that looks much better. I think the final thing that will complete our desert well will be to have a wandering trader and the 2 trader llamas spawn with the well. And that way, when you find one of these, you find like a trader, and it's kind of like, you know, the trader stopped at the well, gonna give his llamas some water, although he might just be completely heading out. He's not really sticking by his llamas. But these guys would just stay around, they won't despawn or anything, so it'd be kind of a special find. Like, these guys, they don't even generate in villages, really, they just spawn randomly. But having them generate consistently with the structure, especially like this, adds a bit of lore and I think interest to finding these things, even if wandering traders are not the most helpful. And this guy, he's just completely heading out. Well, I think that will conclude our video for today, guys. If you did enjoy, then consider dropping a like and hitting that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers by June, and I need your help. And be sure to leave a comment down below what you'd like to see next for me to update in terms of structures. That's going to be all for me today, guys. Thanks for watching. I've been Sbeev, and I'll see you in the next video or live stream. Bye!